what's up, guys? Hey, it's Marcus here. Thank you so much. Welcome to the first episode of The Creative Process. I'm really grateful that you're here, and I really hope and believe that there's going to be something here for every creative that's watching this. So let's hop right into it. How do we start this off, right? It's a new year, and I was thinking, how do we start this off? What do we talk about? And then I was thinking, there's nothing more fitting than talking about influence. That's right, influence. And if you're living under a rock, you know about social influencers. It's a thing. Content creators. It's growing. So I was doing some research for this because I wanted to sound smart, and I looked at a Forbes article, and the Forbes article said this: that around more than 50 million people around the world now consider themselves to be influencers. 50 million people. And the article was written in 2022. So I would imagine that there's more people for sure. But in 2022, 50 million people in this world consider themselves to be content creators. Here's the staggering number. This is another quote from the article. $5 billion have been invested into that space. 5 billion. So 50 million people, 5 billion. And I'm pretty sure 2 years later, because we're in 2024, it's definitely more. I would think that. And if you're like me, when you're scrolling on your timeline, don't you feel like you're always being sold something? I gotta eat here. I gotta buy this Amazon hack. I'm like, oh my gosh. Every scroll, I feel like I'm being sold something. So this thing, content creation, having influence, is a big part of our lives now. And it's not going away, right? This is one of the craziest lines I read from the article. Social influence will be the new bachelor's degree. That's what they're thinking. I hope not. If so, I need my money back. Please. Because I went to school for that. Number 2, social media influencers will become the new mega celebrities. We're starting to see that a little bit, right? And then the last one, all companies will have an influencer strategy. We see that. So it's not something that's going away. So if it's not something that's going away, and we as creatives, we need influence, we want influence, it's okay to admit that, right? Well, we have some questions surrounding that. One being, how do you get it? No, seriously, like, how do you get influence? Is it something I can buy? Do I gotta dance my way into it? Like, what do I do to get influence? And after hours of study, prayer, and devotion, I have the answer for you. Aren't you glad you logged in? I have the answer for you right now. This is how you get influence. You already have it. That's been my time. I'm Marcus. Thank you for logging in. I'll see you next. No, I'm joking. You already have it. You already have it. Now, here's the thing. It's going to take us some time to maybe change the way we think about influence. But I encourage, and I'm telling you, that you already have it. And you may not see that you have it because it doesn't look like the influence that you want. I'm going to say that again. Sometimes we don't realize the influence that we have because it doesn't look like the influence that we want. But you have it, and influence, to me, is progressive. It's very much progressive. So, in the Bible, you see this example with Jesus, right? Jesus is the Son of God. He comes onto the earth. You think people are going to already follow him. No, of course, there's skeptical people. There are people that don't believe. There's people that are curious, right? So not everyone is the same. But one of the things I've realized while reading through the Gospels of Jesus' ministry, as Jesus is doing certain miracles and even teaching and preaching in certain places, people actually started to follow him. Crowds were building around him. So much so that it became sometimes a tight situation when he had to go from town to town. Crowds, people were following him because they were curious, but they also saw something and they wanted to observe it and they wanted to be a part of it. And here's my first point. You can't wait until you get to your desired audience or client or anything else to use the gift God has given you. I know as creatives, we see it in our heads so vividly, and this is how it has to be. And if it's not like this, I can't do it. You can't wait until you get all the things that you desire. I'm not talking about the things that you need, because you want to do things in excellence, but you can't wait to get to the things that you desire, or I'll do it around here. I'll really turn up around this audience. When I have this number amount of people or clients, I'm really going to go to work. You can't do that because you actually won't get those clients. It starts where you are. It starts where you are. Your gifting starts where you are. Right? There's a place in LA called Papa's Chicken. Shout out to Papa's Chicken. That's a wild name. Papa's Chicken. And me and my wife, we visited Papa's Chicken years ago. And we ate there. We were looking for something to eat in LA. And they had great reviews. So we were like, all right, we're going to try them. Let's explore. Let's see what happens, right? So we get the food. Guys, I'm telling you, my life was changed. My life was changed. This place was amazing. And they're local, right? So when we went back home, I'm looking for, is there a nearest Papa's Chicken near me? Not Popeyes. I want Papa's Chicken, right? Is it near me? And no, it's only local in LA. And the funniest thing is, through the pandemic, a lot of restaurants were closing, unfortunately. I was checking in on them like an ex. How you doing? I just want to check in, make sure you're okay. You need some donations. I'm here for you. I want you to stay open. But if you're checking your ex stuff, don't do that. I had to probably just drop that in there. Don't do that. But anywho, yeah, so I'm like, man, that place had an impact on me, so much so that when I went home, I'm looking for it. And I can't find it because it's only there. Here's the thing. I don't know if Papa's Chicken has aspirations to wanting to be a franchise. That's not my business. I'm not sure if they want to. I'll be a buyer. But I'm not sure. What I do know is that they make great food locally for the people that live there locally. Right? Their reviews, they won the people over where they're at. And that's why when an out-of-towner comes in, and I'm like, I'm looking for some really great food, the locals are like, this is the place. The reviews are like, this is the place. This is the place. And here's the thing. The reason why I tell that story is because I know virality is king now. You want to go viral, right? Shoot, I'll go viral if I could on this video. But here's the thing about virality. Virality has a quick fuse, a quick short duration to it. So if you're quickly chasing that or constantly chasing that, you constantly have to change and go with the trends, right? But the beautiful thing is word of mouth experiences, right? So if I go to my friend went to LA not too long ago, and I told him, yo, when you go there, you got to go to Papa's Chicken. You got to go to Papa's Chicken, right? And you got to bring me something back. But you got to go to Papa's Chicken because I had an experience with it. And over virality, experience is king. Experience is king. Because virality informs you about something. And experience tells you about it. You actually get to feel it, get to see it, taste it, explore it. So don't just chase virality. Chase making experiences with people. Because word of mouth experiences, people can vouch for you. They can vouch for your business. They can vouch for your attitude. They can vouch for your work ethic. They can vouch for your kindness. Right? And this is what I want to say. Listen, you also can't wait until you get to your preferred destination to start being nice to people. I think sometimes as creatives, we can put so much weight on our gifting and developing our gifting that our character becomes poor. And it's undeveloped. Because we put so much time into our craft. But here's the thing. The talent gets you into the door. The Bible says your gift makes room for you. Your character will keep you there. And if your character is not aligned or at the same par as your gifting, then you're imbalanced. So being nice, being respectful, treating people with kindness is just as important as what you can design, what you can style, what you can play, how you can sing, how you can dance, it to me is even more important because sometimes that'll open up a door before your talent will. Because here's the thing, and here's the sobering truth for us as creatives. We're not the only special people in the world. We're not the only special people in the world. There are a ton of creatives. Ton of them. And sometimes what makes you stand out is not your gift, but it's actually your character and who you are. And who you are. So listen, the Bible says this: do not despise the day of small beginnings. Do not despise it. I know everything looks big on social media, and we have to be honest that we get a little bit of a FOMO, fear of missing out on something, or we compare ourselves, right? But don't despise, don't hate, don't disregard how you're starting, even if it's small. Because if you're faithful over it, potentially it can grow bigger and your influence can grow. And let me say this: you may have to move from your city, right? Maybe you can't start where you are. Maybe you do have to move or leave the city. But right now we're answering, how do we get influence and how do we get more of it? And I truly believe you get that when you honor where you currently are. There's no place, there's no time like the present. That's the gift that we have. Honor where you are. And I truly believe your influence will grow. That wasn't too bad, right? We had a good time in this episode, right? Listen, this is going to be a journey, and I'm really excited for a creative process. I really am. If you're excited, subscribe, please. That shows me your support and also helps me to continue to do this. So please subscribe, please share. I really appreciate that. And also drop in the comment any restaurants that you've been to that was life-changing that I might have to visit if I travel a little bit. All right. Listen, guys, thank you for joining me for episode 1. I'll see you next week. And next week we're going to talk about, okay, this is how you get influence. We're going to talk about how do we manage it. It's one thing to get something. It's a completely different thing to manage it. So next week we're talking about managing influence. All right, guys, so see you later. Stay creative.